Okay, great day in the Lehigh Valley to do a little test ride. My name's Keith, Blackman Cycle Center, and this is a 2017 Ducati Multistrata 950. Or as I like to call it, Baby Strata. The 950 has about 113 horsepower. It has 4 rider modes. What mode am I currently in? I am currently in Sport. Sport mode has full power of 113 horsepower. Traction control is, I believe, 5 out of 8. And ABS is turned on. Multistrata has 3 ABS modes. The first mode is mode 1 on the ABS is for off-road. Basically, there's no traction control on the rear tire, or ABS on the rear tire. On level 2 on the ABS, traction for the rear tire is on, however, it'll still allow the rear tire to lift. And when the ABS control is in mode 3, that's full ABS. Including rear tire lift. For the traction control, there's 8 levels of traction control. Level 1 is off-road. Level 8 is full nanny. So it wouldn't be a Ducati without awesome electronics. That's why you buy a Ducati. So you also have 4 ride modes on this bike. First mode is Sport. Basically, that's full out. ABS is on a 3. The other ride mode with full horsepower is the touring mode, and in the touring mode you have the full 113 horsepower, but the engine mapping is modified to be what they call a progressive throttle. In other words, you're not having that full fly-by-wire sensation that you do when you're in sport mode. It's a little bit more gradual on the accelerator. And the other 2 modes, and that would be urban and off-road. The urban mode and the off-road mode, the engine mapping is such that you're limited to 75 horsepower. The urban mode I feel would be more aptly named if it was rain mode, because all the nannies are turned all the way up. Your traction control is set at 8, which is the highest setting, and the ABS is set to 3 full intervention. Then in off-road mode, again, you're limited to 75 horsepower. but the ABS is at 1, and the traction control is set to, I believe, 2. Off-road mode allows you to slip the rear tire, which is required your best performance. Let's turn that turn signal off. Got a great big huge display. And the ride on this thing is just comfortable. Got those big Brembo brakes up front. The suspension is fully adjustable, front and rear. You've got a sack suspension set up, so you can dial this in for whatever your weight is. Make it handle the way you want for dampening and rebound. Now, I'm 6'6", and I am extremely comfortable sitting in this saddle. I could ride this all day, which is what you want in a adventure bike. All right, a little test. How well does it pull out? Second gear, I was down to 2,000 RPMs, and it didn't care. This bike seems to like to be anywhere cruising an RPM ranges from 2,500 up, and it's very linear how it puts down the power. 950 does have the 6-speed transmission. And it's effortless in its handling. Falls in with almost no effort. I will say these mirrors are fantastic. There's no vibrations in them, and I have a great view both left and right. Nice and large, solidly mounted. Hitting the bumps just sucks them up. I believe the front suspension travel somewhere around 6.3 inches. It's a very competent middleweight adventure bike. I call anything between 900 and 1100 cc's as a middleweight. 1100 to and up is the large adventure bikes. Now, if you were comparing this to a V-Strom, this is a much easier riding bike. My personal bike is a V-Strom 1000, and it is a much heavier riding bike. This bike is very light in the way it handles. I'll give the guy a wave. Oh, hey, that's my buddy Jeff. Mr. Bye from the Beard. Oh, someone's trying to call me. All right, and now we roll back to that. We'll roll back to the house. Oh, traffic. If only there was no traffic. You know, motorcycles had the roads to ourselves. Guess that's not reasonable. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the 2017 Multistrata 950. And with that, I'm going to give you my 4 things to be a better rider. 1, always wear a helmet. It will save your life. 2, no alcohol. The first drink is the start of your impairment. With 1 drink, you are not as good of a rider. 3, keep your speeds reasonable. And 4, go out and try to get yourself some more training. Find a class so that you can become a better rider. And with that, I'm going to sign off. Have a great day.